Reviewing 4 of the GoFoils within the 1000 centimeter range. The number on the wing represents the surface area of the wing in centimeters squared. GT refers to go to, it's a mid-aspect shape. RS refers to race series, and it's more of a higher aspect wing for advanced riders. However, the RS825X appears to be more mid-aspect than high aspect. It's maybe because of its smaller size that it's classed into the RS series as a more advanced wing. The newer foils are labeled with an X at the end, and I'm assuming that means because they are thinner profile than the other wings. The newer foils here are the RS975 and the RS825X. RS825X, thin. RS975X, it's thin. This is the RS1000, a bit older, a bit thicker. And the GT1050 mid-aspect. You can see the thicknesses barely, but the newer ones are thinner. Not only did they make the newer foils thinner, but they also moved the thickness further back, so the leading edge is sharper, and they've moved that high point of the thickness further back on the foil. I demoed all 4 foils on the same day in the same conditions with the same 80 centimeter mast, the same board, and the same wing, so everything's equal in terms of testing. Starting off with the RS975X.
There we go!
I've been riding the RS1000 for the last year, and I picked up the RS975X because I heard some good reviews on it. It's a faster, better foil. So trying this one out in comparison. I personally can't tell a huge difference between the RS1000 and the 975X, though the 975X, it is slightly faster in terms of acceleration and maneuverability, like the pitch up and down. It will pitch up and down with less input. I think the way I figured out the difference in feel between these two was mostly because I rode them back to back on this within the same hour. I could tell the RS1000 gives a little more feedback feel in terms of maneuverability. Whether this is good or bad depends on the user. You know, some people might want more of a pressure feedback with the RS1000. This basically translates into predictability and stability, I guess, with the RS1000. I could be wrong on this, but I think the RS1000 probably has a better low-end range on it, meaning I can get up with lighter wind and lighter power, just because that higher midpoint on the camber is further forward and it's a bit thicker. The RS1000 and the RS975X, they are very similar, a lot of overlap, but which one is better depends on, I guess, your riding style. This new RS825X, however, this is a game changer. Before I bought the 825, I was worried it would be too small for wing. I am 165 pounds on fresh water, suited up with another 5 pounds at least of suits. The maneuverability on this foil is incredible, and it doesn't require nearly as much power as I thought it did. The GT1050, it rides very similar to this RS825X, and I guess they are shaped very similar. They both require much less pressure to roll them over, so they have much better roll control than the RS type series. With the 825, you are in complete control of the roll and the pitch. With the 1050, you can feel more lift and roll resistance over the 825. So it depends on what your preference is. In summary, I would use the GT1050 and the 825 on days when the waves are steeper, or if there's steeper type chop. On days when the swells are flatter and I'm wanting to pump more, I would use the RS1000 and 975X. If the winds were a little lighter, less power, I'd probably go with the 1000. And if it's a bit stronger, I need to go faster with sharper turns, the 975X. But in short, I'd probably sell the 1000 or the 975. There's too much overlap between those two foils. Hope this was useful, and see you on the water.